morning, you guys. Welcome back to another video. Today I am doing everything that I cook or eat in a day. I will say that this will be like a very straightforward cooking kind of video because it's pretty much down to the T of what I make at home. Hopefully it'll inspire you guys to cook at home because I'll put my recipes. But yeah, I pretty much stayed loyal to the things that I make. I wouldn't say that this strays too far from the first cooking video I've ever made, but this is kind of like my daily routine. Let's get started. Oh, by the way, if this is your first time coming across my video, welcome. My name is Isa. And so in the mornings, I typically am always wearing my robe. That's why we have to start it like this. You know what I mean? And I'm actually wearing a face mask right now. So that's why my skin is like extra glossy. But the first thing I'll do is actually make a caffeinated drink. I feel like it's a placebo effect, but I cannot function in the mornings without some sort of caffeine. So I'll make a matcha or coffee. I think today we'll do like a plain matcha.
I know what you're probably thinking. I don't have a regular breakfast and I'm having caffeine, which is going to spike my cortisol levels, yada, yada, yada. But this helped me start my day. Personally, I'm just used to the caffeine kick, and it wouldn't be a realistic what I eat in a day if I didn't show you guys my routine. I like to add a dash of honey or agave, and that's it.
Ta-da! Now we have my morning caffeine. If I'm feeling fancy, I'll add like raspberry preserves on the side. I actually learned this from my friend. And then I will also sometimes do a cream top. This is actually one of my favorite ones. It does emulate a cream top pretty well. So I actually do recommend this one from Trader Joe's. But yeah, sometimes I would say I have a savory tooth though, so it's kind of funny that I crave sweet things in the morning. I think this is something that I inherited from my mom because she always drinks coffee and has like a cookie on the side. So I actually made some Earl Grey banana bread last week. The top has some whipped Earl Grey maple butter. So I put some maple syrup, butter, Earl Grey leaves, ground them up. And this to me is like a perfect morning treat, and it just kind of like gives me a little sugar rush so that I can like be pumped up for the day. I browned the butter with the Earl Grey. It's absolutely delicious. Oh my god. My drink is perfect too. Would you guys give me good luck? Usually I'm kind of inconsistent with this. Sometimes it's too milky, sometimes it's a little sweet, but it's kind of perfect today. And I like how green it is. I'll use like Rocky's matcha, Nami matcha, PR matcha. And also when like I run out of them, I'll just like get a random one from Amazon. Oh no! I'll see you guys for lunch. It is now around noon and I am back for lunch, everybody. This is usually around when I get hungry, but I have some marinated salmon. I typically eat salmon for lunch. I don't know why. I think I crave it, and I don't really view salmon as a dinner food. Let me know if that's just me, but I just feel like salmon is just such a yummy lunch idea. And again, I'm loyal to my recipes and I am not strayed too far from what I've been making. Honestly, for the past 5 years, I've been making miso salmon, and it's just so easy. The recipes always stay the same. Mirin, sesame oil, soy sauce, a little bit of sugar. So I'm just gonna put this in the oven in foil for about 10 to 12 minutes, and I'm gonna broil it so it gets like this really nice coat on top. And in the meantime, I'm gonna make a yummy salad, and also I'm gonna heat up a sweet potato. This is the brand I'll typically use. I just get it at any Asian grocery store. When you go to Asia and you go to 7-Eleven and you smell sweet potato on hot stone, this is what it tastes like. So I crave it all the time, especially because I used to live in Taipei, so I would smell that potato smell. But yeah, I love it so much. And then I'm gonna make a really easy salad. But yes, we are most definitely going to do this together and just wing it, honestly. I'm gonna put my veggies aside first, and then we're gonna heat up my salmon and the sweet potato.
If you've seen my cooking videos before, you know that I love a miso salmon. I don't think any marinade tops this. It truly is so delicious, and it's perfectly sweet and savory. You just want to combine all of the ingredients on the right and then keep it in your fridge for at least an hour.
I always make sure to like wipe off the excess of the sauce. And if you want to be a little extra, you can put a little bit of sugar on top, and then you get that really nice color. But I feel like it doesn't need it because it's just been like sitting in the marinade all night. So the oven is heating up. And for this, all I have to do is pop this in the oven. You could put it in foil, but it's like not necessary. For my salad, I like to use whatever's in my fridge, so it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna rinse these tomatoes and also shred some carrots and just rinse all of these veggies out so I can get it all prepped. I also have some cucumber, which is nice. You can also marinate this as a snack later. Like, I'll just use up what's in my fridge, basically. And then for the romaine, peel off the bad leaves. Sometimes I'll make rice, but today I'm making sweet potatoes, so it just depends on the day. This definitely feels like more of a warm weather dish, but that's why I'll make a lot of soup this season, and I'll make miso soup, literally anything. But the first time I showed you guys my like salmon marinade was about 2-3 years ago. But I have like a different dressing that I'll switch between. Sometimes I'll do like a sesame dressing, sometimes I'll do yuzu, sometimes I'll do ponzu, or like I'll do rice vinegar. So it's just kind of nice to switch things up. I get bored of my food super easily, so that's why I always try to like try something different. Okay, now that the veggies have been thoroughly washed, taste my ingredients. Wow, lower cherry tomato. I think I'm gonna actually use this container as like my compost bin, and I'm just gonna peel this outer carrot layer off. You guys won't see me making salmon in a long time because I feel like it's a boring thing to cook and watch people make sometimes, because everybody and their moms does a salmon bowl, me included. But I really do look for lunch, and I feel like this is just like the most accurate thing for me that I'll make. I can't decide. Sometimes I'll peel the skin off because it makes actually the cucumber sweeter, but I think today I won't. I could add onion too, but I don't think it needs it today. On my cute little bowl, I'm gonna add some leaves. Also going to shred some carrots. And it just makes for like a better chew than just like typical stubs. Now, just gonna like randomly put them in smaller bits that do be random, and then I can use the rest of this. My dad taught me actually to salt the cucumber beforehand, and it just brings the sweetness out. So I'm going to add a bit of salt on these cucumbers, and I like to actually quarter these cherry tomatoes. And the nice thing is I can have this all prepped to like use again tomorrow. So now we'll just focus on this salad and the dressing so we can make more this week. I'm going to wash some chives. I like chives or scallions, but chives are like a little more fragrant to me. So let's go with that. I think this salad would actually be really nice and creamy with some avocado. I'm gonna add some avocado. And I'm gonna do little squares for the avocado. Oh my gosh, this looks delectable. I love my vegetables. Okay, we still have our ingredients here, but let's work on the dressing in the meantime. I am going to make this up as we go. Okay, for my dressing, let's see if we need to add soy sauce. We might not, but I'm gonna do rice vinegar and sesame oil and also yuzu juice. I think this will really bring out freshness in the veggies and also the fish. And then we're gonna add the rest of the chives. This is inspired by like acre bento that I'll get for lunch. I realized I've made it before, but I didn't actually like show you guys how I make it. But I'm just gonna mix this and see how it tastes. Also, what I was going to say is that let me know if you guys want to see like a winter recipe video, because this is very, very accurate to what I eat in a day. So that's why I wanted to make this, and I haven't done it in a while. So it was fun, but I'm happy to do one that's like winter or fall themed. I think that'd be really fun. I definitely put too much sesame oil, so I'm gonna add more rice vinegar. I'm also gonna add a little mirin, and I think it needs a little bit of sodium, so I'm gonna add soy sauce. This is my favorite brand of soy sauce. It is a seafood one, and it tastes super sweet. Like there's like a little bit of like umami in it. I think it's getting somewhere. Why do I feel like it needs to be more sour? Just honestly keep tasting it until it tastes to desired tartness and saltiness. Super light. Now I'm gonna just salt my salad. I'm gonna add some of this dressing. You also need to always salt your salad, because that's why it lacks flavor if you just put dressing on it. If you salt your leaves, it makes it so much better. I'm actually just gonna drizzle a little bit of olive oil because I think this will pair really nice with the yuzu. That is my little salad. Potato is also ready. I put it in the toaster oven, so I'm just gonna put it here. Ooh, she's steaming. I'm gonna add some more salad. Okay, I actually realized my dressing is missing fresh grated garlic. Like, I think it needed some kind of kick, so I'm just gonna grate a little bit into the cup. I swear it'll taste so much better. Wow. Yummy. Okay, salmon's done. She's done. I honestly feel like she was done like 3 minutes ago, but I wanted a little bit more char on it. So let's take a look at her in all of her glory. Personally, I think the more color the better, but this is like a little healthy lunch. Ta-da! That's how you know she's juicy. I'm gonna add a little bit of yuzu juice onto the fish. Might have been a lot. I also typically like to eat my lunch by the coffee table, and then I'll sit and I have my laptop with me, or I'll even like put in a little TV break. I'll watch like a 20-minute show or something. But let's try. Oh my goodness, this salmon is so tender. Ate down. And the salmon you don't need to salt beforehand because the soy sauce will like definitely make it salty, and the miso. My sweet potato. Sometimes I'll use chopsticks, sometimes I'll use a fork. You guys, I'm telling you, the more color on it, the better. I think honestly next time I'd add even more sugar. If you make the sugar ratio just as high, it makes this fish taste so sweet. The salad is also phenomenal. Hello friends. Unfortunately, because I had a pretty late lunch, I am hungry for an early dinner. So right now we will be making something delicious and cozy. My weakness is craving something heavy for dinner. I love a heavy dinner. I like beef with rice. I'll usually do a protein and a carb. So I'll see I'm salivating thinking about it. I'll do like beef and rice, or like something in pasta, you know? But I actually picked up some beef at the farmer's market, so I'm gonna cook that and make a yummy chimichurri. By the way, I want to preface, even though I have a talented cooking family, I did not inherit cooking genes. It's kind of like if your parent is a math teacher and you're expected to be good at math, do not expect me to be amazing at cooking because I am probably pretty average, but I love to do it anyway. So we're gonna make a yummy Alfredo pasta and steak and chimichurri. I love a carb, so let's do that together.
For the pasta, I always like to do pappardelle when I'm cooking a heavier base, and I always love a protein, so I'm making steak on the side. You can also do chicken. With more practice, it gets easier and easier to do everything at the same time, so I'm also prepping some chimichurri, and these are all the ingredients that you need. Shallots, parsley, garlic, some red onion if you don't have, red wine vinegar, and extra virgin olive oil. You just mince it and mix it all together. It's so easy. I like to mince the shallots and the parsley and the garlic first just to get it all finely chopped together. And then I season it with salt and pepper and drizzle extra virgin olive oil and red wine vinegar to my liking. But once your steak is cooked, you just let it rest. You can add everything on top. But in the meantime, we'll focus on the pasta sauce, which is just heavy cream, butter, garlic, some overlapping ingredients, which makes it so easy. I let it simmer in the butter for a little bit until it browns and gets super flavorful. These are called the aromatics, and I like to add an egg yolk and then quickly stir it in with some cheese so that it gets even thicker. It just turns into this really yummy consistency where I then add the pasta and I top it with salt and pepper. Everything comes together so nicely, and it's a nice balance of heavy and light.
You guys, you see, this is my ideal meal. Alfredo and steak and watching a show. Wiped. Now I'm gonna go meet friends for dessert, because I like dessert.